Before watching My Dress Up Darling, I had a prejudgment about what kind of show it was going to be. A light-hearted romance that uses its cosplay-heavy story to veil tons of fan service. But after watching the first season, I was pleasantly surprised and, weirdly, kind of emotional. The first few episodes hooked me on Gojo and Marin's romance and joint love of cosplay, even though it's a subject I've never been particularly interested in. More recently, the second season began airing, and a single scene made me realise why so many of us have fallen in love with the show. My Dress Up Darling can be broken up into two segments. The first is the romance between Marin and Gojo, which drives a lot of the comedy and the show's slower moments. Then there's the passion for cosplay, which I believe is the most intriguing and engaging part of the series. But just for clarification, when I say the cosplay, I don't mean this. I mean this. Of course, the scenes involving cosplay are used to deliver some fan service, but it's the characters' passion for the hobby and their acceptance of something new and different that makes the series so relatable for millions of people. This idea is fueled by Gojo's fear of alienation for his own hobby, creating Hina dolls. There are many storytelling tools and creative decisions that help the viewer engage with and relate to Marin and Gojo. But the best example appeared in one of the most recent episodes, and the moment I saw it, I knew I had to make a video exploring that scene. Welcome to a new series called Moments of Brilliance. Within this series, I want to break down small moments that reveal why and how these kind of stories affect us so much. I love exploring wider themes within anime, but without these minute creative details, the big themes wouldn't have half the impact we remember them for. The show follows Wakana Gojo, a teenager who is passionate about making Hina dolls, for which he was bullied when he was younger. As a result, he's incredibly secretive and anxiety-ridden about sharing his hobby with anyone. He then meets Marin, a popular extrovert who loves cosplay, but doesn't know how to make any costumes. After she shares her passion for cosplay with Gojo, he decides to help her using his years of Hina doll experience to make her costumes. As they both dive deeper into the hobby, a romance then begins to bloom. My Dress Up Darling has always been a story about acceptance. Gojo is worried that no one will understand his passion for Hina dolls, stemming from a bad childhood experience. This is contrasted by Marin's steadfast self-acceptance of her cosplay, as she doesn't care about what other people think. The show sends a message that it's okay to enjoy whatever it is that you enjoy, and that you shouldn't have to hide your hobbies or passions from anyone. It's a constant theme throughout the series, but Season 2 appears to be tackling it more directly, and 2 episodes in the new season exemplify this moral message the best. Obviously, slight spoilers ahead. In the second episode of the new season, we're introduced to Chitose Amano, who cosplays under the name Amane Himeno. Both Marin and Gojo adore Amane's cosplay, and are stunned to learn that they're actually a boy who dresses as female characters. Over the course of 2 episodes, Marin and Gojo learn about the secrets of crossplaying, as the show educates the audience on the subject. In episode 15, the series digs deeper into Chitose as a character, as they recall how they got started with crossplay and share a painful memory of the time their then girlfriend found out about it. The content of the flashback is already relatable enough, as that feeling of ridicule is something that almost everyone has experienced at least once in their life. I make video essays about anime on YouTube, for God's sakes. I've had that experience more than once. But in this scene, director Kazuki Shinohara made a bold decision that allows the audience to connect even further with Chitose's experience. Like any anime, much of the characters' emotions are expressed through their eyes. Sometimes it's subtle, other times it's overt and cartoonish. In a medium where tiny facial cues can't always be animated, the eyes become an easy method to express how a character is feeling. So what happens when we can't see a character's eyes at all? Throughout the entirety of the flashback, we only see Chitose's eyes when they're cross-playing as Amane. When they're dressed in their casual clothes as Chitose, their eyes are always obscured, and sometimes aren't drawn at all. Character designers know that the eyes are one of a character's most defining and identifiable features. They act as a gateway into that character's soul. But in a moment of brilliance, Keisuke Shinohara elected to remove Chitose's eyes in the flashback. Not only does this create a level of contrast between Amano and Chitose, and reflects how they feel more comfortable in crossplay than when they're dressing as a boy, it also makes it far easier for the audience to imprint their own experiences on Chitose. By removing their eyes in the flashback, Chitose becomes a blank canvas for the audience to place themselves upon. This is no longer a flashback about an embarrassing event that happened to a single character. It's now a mirror being held up to the audience, directly reminding us of how it feels to be in that situation. Without the eyes, the character is no longer Chitose. They're every one of us who have experienced something similar, that of being ridiculed for the things we enjoy. In the episode, we only see Chitose's eyes once. The moment comes about halfway through the episode, when Marin and Gojo say goodbye to them after the cosplay event. At that point, we're finally introduced to the complete Chitose, as well as actually revealing what they look like in their casual clothes. The scene also lets us view the character with more acceptance than we may have had when they were introduced in the episode before. Now that we know exactly what the character has gone through and felt their pain directly, it becomes far easier for us to accept their hobby, even if it's something we don't enjoy ourselves, or once didn't understand. Removing a character's eyes in a scene is such a simple decision, but it's one that has a massive effect on the audience because it was done with clear intent. Amane's story is just one of many that My Dress Up Darling uses to emphasise its themes of acceptance. And there are many more creative ways in which the show helps the audience engage with and relate to the characters. But to me, the flashback scene is pure brilliance. Thank you for staying to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the first in what's hopefully a long series of videos exploring these kind of moments. I firstly want to say thank you to everyone who watched and supported my last post on Freerun. Over 80,000 views on my second ever video is insane, so thank you all so much. Like always, you don't have to agree with my reading of the scene. If you read it differently, or you completely disagree with me, let me know in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos like this, why not consider subscribing? As this channel grows, I want to become far more regular with uploads, ideally once every 2 weeks, if not once a week. Either way, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you.